If you're collecting Social Security right now, stay with me for the next few minutes because there are 3 important changes affecting many retirees in 2026. Depending on your situation, these updates could affect how you receive your benefits, your taxes, and what you pay for prescription medications. One change involves the way Social Security payments are delivered. If you're still receiving a paper check, you'll want to understand what the transition to electronic payments could mean for you and the steps you may need to take. Another change could help some eligible retirees reduce their federal tax burden. Many people either haven't heard about it or aren't sure whether they qualify, so we'll break down who may benefit and what action is required. The third update involves prescription drug costs. Thanks to recent Medicare changes, many beneficiaries now have stronger protections against high out-of-pocket expenses for covered medications. These aren't distant policy discussions. They're real changes that could affect your finances this year. The challenge is that many people only see the headlines and never learn the practical steps they need to take. I'm Walter Barron, a state bar licensed estate attorney. For more than 15 years, I've helped families protect their homes, savings, and retirement benefits. My goal is to explain complicated government rules in plain English, so you know exactly what they mean for you. Whether you're 62 or 82, fully retired or still working part-time, at least one of these updates may apply to you or someone you care about. Before we begin, if you find videos like this helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribing. It helps more retirees find reliable information about changes that affect their benefits and retirement planning. Here's what we'll cover today. First, we'll discuss the transition from paper Social Security checks to electronic payments, and what you should do if you still receive your benefits by mail. Second, we'll explain a federal tax provision that may reduce taxable income for eligible seniors and who qualifies. Third, we'll look at Medicare's prescription drug changes, including the annual out-of-pocket cap for covered Part 500 medications. Let's start with the payment change because for some beneficiaries, it's the most time-sensitive. The federal government has been working to modernize how federal benefits are delivered by encouraging electronic payments instead of paper checks. If your Social Security benefits are already deposited directly into your bank account, this transition likely won't affect you. However, if you're still receiving paper checks through the mail, it's a good idea to review your payment method and make sure you're prepared if paper payments are phased out. Many of the people still receiving paper checks are older beneficiaries who have used the same payment method for decades. If that describes you or someone in your family, now is the right time to make sure everything is set up correctly. There are 2 primary ways to receive Social Security benefits electronically. The first is direct deposit into a checking or savings account. This is the most common option and is generally the fastest and most secure way to receive your monthly payment. The second option is the Direct Express Registered Trademark, Debit MasterCard Registered Trademark, designed for beneficiaries who don't have a traditional bank account. Your monthly benefits are loaded directly onto the card, which can then be used for purchases, bill payments, or ATM withdrawals, similar to a standard debit card. Setting up direct deposit is straightforward. You'll typically need your bank's routing number, your account number, and your Social Security information. You can make changes through your personal My Social Security account, contact the Social Security Administration, or ask your bank to assist you. If you prefer the Direct Express card, you can enroll through the official Direct Express program and have future benefit payments deposited there automatically. Some people tell me they still prefer paper checks because they like having something they can hold in their hands. That's understandable. But electronic payments generally provide better protection against lost or stolen mail and usually arrive more reliably than paper checks. Paper checks can be delayed, misplaced, or stolen before they ever reach your mailbox. Electronic payments eliminate many of those risks by sending your benefits directly to your account. The government has also said that electronic payments reduce administrative costs and improve payment security, which is one of the reasons this transition has been encouraged. It's also worth mentioning that, in limited circumstances, certain individuals may qualify for an exception if electronic payments create a significant hardship. If you believe your situation is unique, you can contact the appropriate federal office to ask whether an exception may be available and what documentation might be required. The key takeaway is simple. If you're still receiving paper checks, don't wait until the last minute. Verify your payment method, understand your options, and make any necessary updates so your monthly benefits continue to arrive without interruption. If you're receiving Social Security benefits, there are three important changes in 2026 that could affect your monthly payments, taxes, and prescription drug costs. While not every change applies to every beneficiary, understanding these updates can help you avoid problems and potentially save money. The first update concerns how Social Security benefits are delivered. The federal government has continued its long-term effort to move away from paper checks in favor of electronic payments. If your benefits are already deposited directly into your bank account, you generally won't need to do anything. However, if you still receive a paper check by mail, it's a good idea to review your payment method and consider switching to an electronic option before future changes affect you. There are two primary ways to receive benefits electronically. The most common is direct deposit into a checking or savings account, which is fast, secure, and reliable. The second option is the Direct Express registered trademark debit card, designed for people who don't have a traditional bank account. Your monthly Social Security benefit is automatically loaded onto the card, allowing you to make purchases, pay bills, or withdraw cash from ATMs. Electronic payments also reduce the risk of lost or stolen mail. Paper checks can be delayed, misplaced, or stolen before they reach your mailbox, while direct deposits arrive safely in your account. If you believe electronic payments would create a significant hardship, limited exceptions may be available, but most beneficiaries are encouraged to transition to an electronic payment method. The second topic involves a tax benefit that may help some older Americans reduce their federal tax liability. Recent federal tax legislation introduced an additional deduction for certain eligible seniors. However, eligibility depends on factors such as age, filing status, income, and the specific provisions of the tax law. For many retirees, this deduction could lower taxable income and reduce the amount of federal tax owed. Married couples who both qualify may receive a larger combined benefit than single taxpayers. The deduction is generally available in addition to the standard deduction, meaning many retirees do not need to itemize their deductions to take advantage of it. Income limits play an important role. As income increases above certain thresholds, the deduction may gradually decrease or phase out entirely. That's why it's important to understand how retirement account withdrawals, pensions, investment income, and other taxable income can affect eligibility. If you're planning to withdraw a large amount from an IRA or another retirement account, careful tax planning may help you preserve more of your available deduction. In some cases, spreading withdrawals over multiple years instead of taking one large distribution may produce a better tax outcome. When filing your federal income tax return, make sure your tax preparer or tax software properly accounts for any senior-related deductions you qualify for. If you later discover that you were eligible for a deduction you didn't claim, you may be able to amend your return within the IRS time limits and receive any additional refund you're entitled to. The third major update affects Medicare Part 500 prescription drug coverage. One of the most significant improvements in recent years is the introduction of an annual cap on out-of-pocket spending for covered prescription medications. This change provides important financial protection for people who rely on expensive medications throughout the year. Instead of continuing to pay increasing costs indefinitely, eligible Medicare beneficiaries now have a maximum annual amount they'll pay out of pocket for covered Part 500 drugs. Once that limit is reached, covered prescription costs are paid by the plan for the remainder of the year. This can provide substantial savings for people managing chronic illnesses or taking high-cost medications. It's important to understand what counts toward the annual spending limit. Eligible out-of-pocket expenses, including deductibles, co-payments, and coinsurance for covered medications, generally count toward the cap. Monthly plan premiums, however, do not count toward that limit and must still be paid separately. Another valuable resource for many retirees is the Medicare Extra Help Program, also known as the Low-Income Subsidy. This federal program assists eligible Medicare beneficiaries with prescription drug costs by reducing premiums, deductibles, and co-payments. Many people who qualify either don't know the program exists or mistakenly assume their income is too high to qualify. If you have limited income and resources, it's worth applying to determine whether you're eligible. Even individuals who were previously denied may qualify if program rules or their financial circumstances have changed. The application process is available through the Social Security Administration, and qualifying for extra help can significantly reduce overall prescription drug expenses. Taken together, these three topics highlight the importance of staying informed about changes that affect retirement benefits. First, review how you receive your Social Security payments and consider using direct deposit or another approved electronic payment method if you're still receiving paper checks. Second, make sure you're aware of any tax deductions available to eligible seniors and discuss them with your tax professional when preparing your return. Finally, if you're enrolled in Medicare Part 500, understand how the annual out-of-pocket cap works and determine whether you qualify for additional assistance through the Extra Help program. Government programs and tax laws change over time, and many people miss valuable benefits simply because they never hear about them or don't understand the eligibility requirements. Before making financial decisions, always verify current rules with official government sources, such as the Social Security Administration, the IRS, Medicare, or a qualified financial or tax professional. The key takeaway is simple: stay informed, review your eligibility, and take action when appropriate. A few minutes spent checking your payment method, tax situation, or prescription drug coverage could help you avoid unnecessary problems and make the most of the benefits available to you.